How is everyone doing today? My name is Jonathan. I realize I don't have my green screen down behind me. It's really not that big a deal. So it's not like there's anything that you would be missing. But anyways, again, my name is Jonathan. This is day 93 of my 3-year challenge to get my health and wellness under control here. Bolt's checking in, saying, "Good day, sir. How you doing, Bolt? I hope you had a good weekend." If anybody has any non-scale victories they would like to share, we'd love to hear them. If you have any other questions about diet or weight loss, or if you're having any struggles, maybe I can help you or somebody in chat can help you out with that. The I'm not going to weigh in today. I'm going to weigh in on Wednesday. I think I'm going to just continue to do like a weigh-in Wednesday or something along those lines. And so I'm not going to have a weigh-in this morning. But if you were here on Friday, you'd have seen that my final weigh-in weight for January was 394.2 pounds. That puts me at a total of 125.6 pounds lost since I started this, which is awesome because, like I said earlier, I'm on day 93. I never anticipated that it would be going this well so fast. Some of my non-scale victories, I guess I'll just kind of run through in order that they happen. On Friday, I guess I would say that I had a non-scale victory in that I was playing with my kids, and a lot of times I like to be goofy and dance around with them. And Friday night we were dancing around, and a lot of times if I get tired or just to make things easier, I'll kind of, dance from my knees or, be seated and kind of dancing back and forth. And on Friday, I kind of noticed that I started to do that kind of dancing from my knees and realized that I kind of didn't need to do that anymore. And so, or as much. But so I got up on my feet and we had kind of a fun little dance party around the upstairs, and it was just fun to do that with the kids. It's something that I would have done something like that in the past. It just wouldn't have been as enjoyable for me, and probably not for them. I'm sure they enjoyed it more with me bouncing around more. The second non-scale victory that I kind of put down here was that I took a I took my photo that I had up the other day, and I added a photo, and I should have prepped that, but it's on my Instagram at Fasting. It's the up above there, FAHSTING. But it had my most recent photo that I took after I weighed in at 394. And I posted that on my Instagram, but I also posted that on Reddit. It was really nice to get a lot of great feedback from Reddit. One of the surprising things for me, and probably not surprising for Bolt or Awesome, who kind of pushed me to start the Reddit, or I'm sorry, the Discord, is I put a link to the Discord in there, and we probably picked 4 or 5 people up into the Discord channel there. So it was great having all kinds of people, have all those people come into the Discord. I put a link in the description on this, or in the live comments on this video, but the link's only going to be live for 1 day. I'm not sure why they have invites that last forever versus 1 day, but for now I'm just gonna kind of make a new invite each day, put it in the comment section when I remember, just to have it refresh in there. And so actually the link in the comments, if it's still there when you're watching this, probably won't work, and then you have to be within 24 hours for that to work. But if you don't have the link, just private message me or something and I can get you the link. It's not like it's that big of a deal. Um, and I'm still trying to figure out how Discord works. I had used it prior to uh, doing any of this, but I only used it for like gaming, or to or on games where they didn't have a chat feature that it allowed you to kind of create a chat feature. So I'm really liking Discord, though. I like that we've been able to post a lot of recipes that we've been having and do updates. I also like hearing from you guys on how you're doing on there as well. Kind of just another aspect of the community that's being grown. So it's like I said, it's great having them, the people on Reddit. A lot of great comments. Really not that many negative comments at all on my post. One of the things that it did get me kind of thinking about, and because one of the questions that I was asked maybe more than once, but it definitely the question I know I've contemplated or thought about was, after I finished fasting, how much weight did I gain back? And I had to go back and look, and I fasted 42 days, and I didn't look at all the videos, but I skipped from the last day of the fast to day 51 or 52. I have a video, and so 9 days later, I was 10 pounds lighter. And so I didn't gain any weight back after the fast. And I really attribute that to how I transitioned into my refeed and switching to the whole food plant-based SOS free diet. But a lot of videos that I've seen just over this past weekend, it feels like, talked about fasting and the rebound weight that people put on after they finish fasting. And it doesn't maybe necessarily have to happen. It didn't happen with me. And so that is something to be considered, I guess, with refeeding. I definitely took it slow this time, because last time I took it too fast and I didn't do a very good job at it. But this time when I refed, I really took it slow. And like I said, the fact that we didn't add in a lot of different foods, and we're sticking with the whole food plant based, I think helped me keep the weight down, and has helped me keep losing the weight since then. And then the final non-skill victory that I guess I would have would be that I finally went to the doctor about my foot. I had the appointment this morning. The My foot has not been hurting me like it had been hurting me back in mid-December. But it was still bugging me 2 weeks ago. And so I said to Carrie, make me an appointment with the doctor. If it's still bugging me when that day or leading up to that day, I'll go see the doctor. That way I can get x-rays, find out if I broke my toe or what's going on with my toe. So I did have the appointment this morning. I had him look at two different things. My right foot, the knuckle joint, I guess, where the big toe meets the main part of the foot, has been really sore. And then on my left foot, on the far outside, kind of like right outside where my pinky toe meets, there's always been a hard spot there for a long time, for probably a few years, that it's like if I brush it against something or I stub it, it really hurts bad. It's not much of a pain, like just sitting around, but if something bumps it or hits it, it hurts a lot. And so, as far as with the left foot, I just told the doctor, that it was hurting. It feels like there's a callus or just something there. I don't know. I don't know what corns are or bunions or any of that stuff, but I just said it was like a callus. And he's like, yeah, it's probably a callus. Let me see your foot. And so he just put my left foot up on his knee with a napkin underneath it. And his assistant gave him a scalpel, for lack of a better term, and he just went to town on the bottom of my foot, just cutting out the callus. It really didn't hurt uh, any more than bumping it. Any, he would. There was times where he was knocking off huge chunks of skin. Like, it was surprising how much skin he was cutting off my foot, that I didn't feel, and then there was other times that I could kind of feel it. Uh, but uh, he kind of said that's all that was a callus there. Uh, I mentioned that I'd lost a lot of weight, so he said as long as I continue to keep losing weight, that should just continue to get better over time. And he said it would probably be sore today, but after that, it's not going to be as much of an issue. So, and then yeah, just having him kind of go at it with the knife was interesting, I guess. And then with my right foot, they did do an X-ray of my foot because it was a throbbing pain, or it was a pain that's kind of always been there. Like I said, it has been getting better. Came in, they said there was nothing wrong with any of the X-rays. I don't have a broken foot. There was some redness and like a little bit of swelling right on the knuckle, and he just said, "Yeah, it looks like it's inflamed." Um, and then he was like, "Yeah, I just shoot cortisone into that all day long." So, um, I was I just thought it was funny because it was a lot of what the the doctors and the books talk about that I've been reading as far as nutrition goes. Talks about the medical field a lot of times doesn't look to solve your problems. They look to kind of band-aid it, or uh and that's kind of what I felt like the cortisone was going to do. Now there's a chance that they put cortisone in there and it relaxes my muscles, and stuff that my body was keeping tight. It might allow to heal faster, but I didn't. I Because a lot of the pain that I've had in my feet since I started this, I feel like has been pain from my feet repairing themselves. Like the when the swelling went down around my ankles, I felt like it was painful because the bones and the ligaments were going back to where they were. And I feel like the big toe thing is kind of a same thing. It's something that's working itself out in there. Maybe it's because my shoes for years have been really worn out on the outside. Like, the sole of them is like, you know, razor thin on the right side and looks like a brand new shoe on the inside. It's not that dramatic, but you understand what I mean. Um, so it might be a product of, for the last 3 years, I wasn't putting any weight on my big toes. I just didn't notice it because of the way I was walking. Because I was fat, I walk very pigeon-toed, or my feet out anyways. Uh, so it could be a product of all kinds of things that my toe had this pain. Uh, the fact that I had a very similar pain in my left foot, but not to the same extent, but it was identical pain uh, right after the foot massager incident. If you watched my previous videos, um, but uh, the pain in my left foot went away. Like, it was very, like I said, very similar in the throbbingness or the type of pain, and it went away over time. I could have got a cortisone shot. He, like I said, he was all about giving me a cortisone shot. I kind of asked, like, when would that happen, and he was like, well, we do it right now. Like, you go grab a needle and shoot cortisone into the big toe, I guess. He said it would hurt at the time, but it would make things feel better. And I asked him if there's any other options. He said I could take steroid to help with the inflammation, I guess, to help with the pain. And so I chose not to. I mean, I had him write me a prescription for the steroid. I don't have to get the prescription filled, but I chose not to get the shot in my foot. I'm going to give my foot more time to heal itself. If it wasn't feeling better now than it did 2 weeks ago, I might have considered the shot. Or if it would have been December, like when I was borrowing crutches to get around my house, and he said that he could shoot cortisone in my foot and the pain would go away, I probably would have signed up twice. So um, that was just kind of the way I was with that. Uh, when I refused, I guess I didn't even refuse uh, I didn't even refuse the cortisone necessarily. I guess I just said I wanted to think about. I didn't want to just do it right now. Um, and I can always go back. I have a record that I went and saw them, and there was an issue with my foot, and that was the recommendation. If 2 weeks from now I change my mind and say I want to go have them put a cortisone shot on my foot, then I can call them up and say, hey, let's go, get that shot done. But I have options now. And my biggest concern was just finding out if the toe was broke, because that was the most annoying part to me. That was the pain was just still kind of there. It wasn't, like I said, it's not even like I rated it like a 2 on the pain scale when they asked me about it now. December 15th, probably an 8. But let's see, catch up on a few questions. Both asking if I got a chance to ask them about the electrolytes. And then uh since I didn't tell him that I was fasting, he might not consider it low electrolytes. I don't think that this doctor, the podiatrist I went to, would have had any interest in my diet, because I kind of gave him some history about like the foot massager and the kind of the what I had happened in December, and it really didn't seem to have any effect on any of his uh, diagnosis or whether or not he was even listening to me while I was talking about it, because I think he pretty much knew what he was going to recommend when he took my sock off. So, so then, like I said, when I didn't say, yeah, let's go get the needle, when I said, well, I'm going to let it kind of heal itself, and if I change my mind, I'll call back. I mean, it wasn't that it was, uh, he was done with me at that point, I guess. It wasn't like a negative done with me, but it was, uh, his only solution for me was going to be that cortisone shot or the steroid. And since I didn't pop up and say, let's go get the cortisone shot, I don't know. I just felt like he didn't seem to care as much. But we're still, and then Carrie, yeah, is just explaining that he was a podiatrist, and we're still trying to find a general practitioner. Uh, we've been trying, yeah, to find something with that. All right. Going on from my non-scale victory. I finished the book Eat to Live on audiobook. I finished it the other probably yesterday, I guess, and then there's another hour of like a Q&A that he does, because the Eat to Live book that I listened to is a revised version of the book that came out like 8 years after the original version of the book was published. So it's interesting to be listening to a book called Eat to Live and then having quotes from people who talk about their success after reading the book Eat to Live. So, but the book's great. I really feel like it spells out a diet plan better than the Pleasure Trap book. It doesn't speak to the physiological aspect, I guess, like the fact of us being genetically kind of predisposed to certain things. But it's the same plant based, diet, and so let's see. Um and I guess part of like this book, it was actually more the pleasure trap. I'm just looking at my notes here. I wrote some notes down on Saturday when I was in the office, and I'm trying to remember if I talked about some of this stuff on Friday, if I wrote these notes Saturday. Um, but it was talking about a little bit, just about not being so. I remember going and working out with a trainer, and him being like, him talking about my slow metabolism as if I was, you know, uh, I was a less fortunate person because I had a slow metabolism versus other people who have high metabolisms, or people who can eat anything they want and they can get away with it, or they can do that and not gain any weight. And it's just kind of interesting that, like, that is in the food environment that we live in now, it is a disadvantage to have a slow metabolism. But in the food environment that our species evolved from and what we're used to, uh, being the type of person that stores fat well was beneficial. And so that's been a lot of, I found that, like, with this weekend, I had a hard time. I was at home yesterday and I just felt like I just was always hungry. And we had some big salads for lunch. We had a big salad for lunch. It really helped. And probably what killed me is that we had work, or I had work that I was trying to get caught up on, and I was up really late. Like, I'm so tired right now because I was up till 2 or 3 in the morning doing work stuff. And so that kind of time from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. was just so rough. Because I'm not used to being up that late, and my body just kept, wanting to eat to stay up. I feel like, maybe, or just to kind of give me something to do so I didn't fall asleep while I was working. I It's nice that we have so much food that is on our diet that we've kind of figured out that we have kind of snacks or go to. So I wasn't uh, really in a position or tempted by um, uh, bad food. It was just that I was just constantly eating. And the nuts are probably the thing I would say that I have to be the most careful with as far as going after. But yeah, I felt bottomless this weekend, but I never broke the diet. It was, like I said, we had some fun, creative stuff. Carrie made some tortillas, um, and like a bean mix that was really good. It was so spicy. She used like these uh rotel tomatoes, or so, I don't know. Maybe she'll say it in the chat here. But it just had such a spice to it that we just hadn't had, or I hadn't had in any of the things that I'd been eating here for the last couple of weeks. Uh, and then the other, so kind of a test of us, I suppose, is that uh, it was actually interesting. So we have a dog that's getting kind of old, or he is old. He's very old. And he kind of quit eating his dog food a few months back. So we switched some things up, and we found a wet dog food that he really liked. And so we started switching to this wet dog food. We get it like delivered to our PO box like every month, but he eats it faster than that. So then we also order it from Walmart pickup. And it just happened that we did Walmart pickup and they didn't have his dog food. And so we have some meat that we had stored in our freezer for a long time. And so I got out some of that and cooked it for him, and he had a ball because he doesn't get a lot of cooked meat, but it was like a really big like steak I cooked for him. Um, but I didn't really season it like, and I just kind of cooked it. I put some olive oil in the pan that we had and cooked it for him, and it was just amazing how unappealing it was. The whole process was. Like, it was almost weird, like, because with the meat we give the kids, there's some ground beef, but it's, I guess it's a little different with ground beef. But like the blood, like I had blood splatter all over kind of when I flipped the steak. It's kind of gross, and it was just interesting. Um, and like I said, I didn't season it a lot because I was giving it to the dog, but it just did not smell appetizing. I was just, yeah, it was an interesting test, but I felt like, it was good for the dog. We had it in the freezer. We needed to get rid of it, and he's a carnivore, and that is what carnivores would eat. Looks like there's some more comments here. Bolt says something. Let's see. He had a genetic test done. He'd recommend it. Uh, we could see about getting genetic test done. Pinto beans. They okay. We used pinto beans, and they were out of black beans in that mix that she made. Okay, so the mix Carrie made for the tortillas. Uh, she made the tortilla out of masa and water, super easy. And then the mix she put on there was pinto beans because we didn't have any black, avocado, red onions, corn, guacamole seasoning that's salt free, cilantro, and some lemon. And it really was so good. It just um, what was it that was so spicy then? It would have been, what was so spicy? It wasn't the cilantro. Anyways, um, yeah. So the um so yeah, I fed the dog that meat, but it cooked. It wasn't too bad a thing. And then yeah, just staying up so late uh is really just kind of killed me today. I'm not gonna stay on here much longer really because there's not a whole lot more I have that happened over. I mean, it was a good weekend. I got out. We had snow come in, and so I had to get things plowed, which took up some time yesterday. But I really took some time to really clean up the driveway, mostly because I was procrastinating all the paperwork I had to do that I was up till 3 in the morning dealing with. But I needed to get the driveway taken care of, anyways. Um, the Yeah, okay. So yeah, the ingredient she forgot in that whole thing was the salt-free rotel, and I think that was what the salty, or not, the spiciness was in. Um, so everything I said before, and then add rotel because I'm not going to read the list. Uh, so I will be back on tomorrow to check in. I'm not going to weigh in tomorrow either. I'll weigh in on Wednesday to kind of every week. That way it gives me a chance to lose some weight and have to stress about whether or not I'm even or up or down. But other than that, I got to find a new book or something to listen to. We downloaded the book How Not Die by Dr. Greger. I've listened to a couple interviews of his since then. I I like what he's saying. Carrie started reading the book, and it is a 17-hour book. And so it's kind of tough for us to read the same book on Audible because it screws each other up where we're book parked at. So I might look into reading the book by the same author, but it's How Not to Diet. Um, and then the but other than that, yeah, I think How Not to Diet. If anybody else has a recommendation, I'm definitely whole food, plant based. Uh, and then we are doing the SOS free, which has been, it's really been nice to be without that stuff for so long. That's something I was thinking about a lot, was being at the 3 month mark, and how much the doctors kind of say that's where you have to hit. And I'm I'm at the 3 month mark for like getting rid of sugars and getting rid of oils and salts, because that's when I started fasting. But I'm really only at, about a month and a half in of trying to figure out the diet. And so still working on it. Today was rough with the diet. I was gonna maybe go through that earlier, but I didn't eat much today so far when I kind of look back, because I had a smoothie this morning before I went, just a fruit smoothie, spinach, celery, berries, banana, and then I didn't eat. I wasn't in a position again to eat till 2. So I had the doctor's appointment at 9, and then I was working or running around until 2 o'clock. I picked up some cashews that I ate, probably more cashews than I probably should have had in the day. And then when I finally got to work, I had some shredded wheat with some soy milk. And so I'm going to have to get some food in my belly tonight, get it all filled up with a big old salad. But I want to thank everybody for checking out my video today. If it's the first time you're checking out the video, I know I had a lot of new people pop up from Reddit. My subscribers on YouTube went from 194 to like 220, so that was awesome to have about 25 new subscribers. So welcome, anybody that is new watching this. Don't hesitate to join in on the chat. I'm gonna go live most days at 4 p.m. Central, and it looks like I'm having potato curry or something for dinner. So that means if the potato curry turns out, that's what I'm having for dinner. But everybody else, you have a great night. Um, Bolt says with all the new people in the community, he wants a founding member tag. You bet, Bolt. I'll get you. I want to get little coins, but sort of like an AA group has. I was thinking about that. But anyways, I am going to get out of here so I can get home and go to bed, and then be back on tomorrow and not be so tired. You guys have a great day. Keep yourself healthy, and if anybody's struggling, click on that link to the Discord. Join up the Discord. Send me a private message. We just want everybody to get happy and healthy. Everybody have a great day.